Alright, let's dive into something that's been blowing up recently. Mexico's top university, UNAM, just ordered 58,000 students to retake their entrance exam after a massive cheating scandal. But here's the thing, this isn't just about cheating. It's about the intersection of technology, education, and equity, and it raises some seriously thought-provoking questions. So, let's break it down. First off, what makes this really interesting is the scale of it. We're talking about 58,000 students, that's a huge number. But what's even more striking is the context. UNAM, being Mexico's most prestigious university, has always been insanely competitive. This year, over 150,000 students applied for just 21,962 spots. That's a 14% acceptance rate. To put that in perspective, that's even lower than some Ivy League schools. So, when you see a sudden spike in perfect scores, 16% of students scoring 100 or more out of 120, compared to just 3.5% in previous years, something's clearly off. Personally, I think the most fascinating part of this story is how it highlights the limitations of technology in solving human problems. UNAM introduced an AI-powered webcam system with facial and voice recognition to prevent cheating. Sounds foolproof, right? But here's the kicker, it didn't work. Not only were test questions leaked and sold online, but cheating tips were widely circulated before the exam. This raises a deeper question. Can we ever truly outsmart human ingenuity when it comes to cheating? Or is this just an arms race we'll never win? What many people don't realize is that this scandal isn't just about cheating, it's about equity. UNAM moved the exam online this year to make it more accessible for students who couldn't afford to travel to Mexico City. That's a noble goal, but it backfired spectacularly. Now, thousands of students who played by the rules are being asked to retake the exam. From my perspective, this is a classic case of good intentions meeting unintended consequences. It's a reminder that innovation in education can't just be about technology. It has to consider the human factor too. Another detail I find fascinating is the role of AI in all this. While AI was supposed to prevent cheating, it might have actually enabled it. There's speculation that AI tools were used to impersonate students or provide real-time assistance during the exam. If you take a step back and think about it, this is a microcosm of a much bigger issue, the ethical implications of AI in education. Are we prepared for a world where AI can take exams for us? And if not, how do we regulate it? What this really suggests is that we're at a crossroads in education. The traditional methods of assessment are being challenged by technology, but we haven't figured out how to adapt yet. Personally, I think this scandal is a wake-up call. We need to rethink not just how we prevent cheating, but how we evaluate learning in the first place. Maybe the problem isn't cheating, it's the fact that we're still relying on high-stakes exams to determine someone's future. One thing that immediately stands out is the public reaction to all this. Hundreds of students protested in Mexico City against having to retake the exam, and the country's president even suggested a criminal investigation. This isn't just a university issue anymore, it's a national conversation. And that's what makes it so compelling. It's not just about UNAM, it's about the future of education in a digital age. In my opinion, the real tragedy here isn't the cheating itself, it's the loss of trust. Students who worked hard and earned their spot are now being asked to prove themselves again. Meanwhile, those who cheated might still slip through the cracks. This raises a deeper question. How do we restore fairness in a system that's been compromised? And more importantly, how do we prevent this from happening again? If you take a step back and think about it, this scandal is a reflection of a much bigger problem, the pressure we put on students to succeed. When getting into a top university is seen as the only path to success, it's no wonder people will go to extreme lengths to cheat. This isn't just a Mexican issue, it's a global one. We've created a system where the stakes are so high that integrity often takes a backseat to ambition. So, where do we go from here? Personally, I think UNAM's decision to have students retake the exam is the right call, even if it's unpopular. They're trying to restore integrity in a system that's been undermined. But this is just the beginning. We need a broader conversation about how we assess learning, how we use technology, and how we ensure equity in education. Because if we don't, this won't be the last scandal we see. What do you think? Is this just a one-off incident, or a sign of bigger problems in education? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this analysis interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that matter. Thanks for watching.